right, well, let's talk about After the Rose now. The host was awful until he got to the context where he shined. He was so good. When he asked Bachelor questions, he was really awkward. He was pretty awful. But as soon as he got to the awkward race conversations, man, he was on point. He asked great questions. He was clear. He was articulate. Couldn't have asked for more. But let's go through this recap a little bit more in detail about what happened during this After the Rose. So we find out that Michelle wanted 2 minutes of Matt's time to get a little bit more closure, and he denied it on her. He didn't let her have it. Why? He said in hindsight he would have. But that's not life. Listen, I would have bought GameStop at $10. I would have bought 50,000 shares and sold it at 500. In hindsight, it's not how life works, bro. I feel like I say that a lot with you, man. You know, if you ever want to come on the show, talk, maybe throw back a couple of brewskis. I don't drink, you know. We can talk about this stuff because I feel like I say that a lot this season. It's not how life works. Michelle wanted some closure. She wanted a couple minutes to maybe wrap her head around what happened. What was that conversation you had with your mom that changed everything? Michelle also offered Matt some advice, like to kiss with his eyes closed and stop saying thanks for sharing. It is a little cold when somebody says, I love you, pours their heart out, becomes vulnerable when you say thanks for sharing. It's a little weird. Matt and Michelle's conversation wraps up in what I deemed as awkwardness. Really no good closure. But Michelle's gonna get closure because guess who's gonna be on the next season of The Bachelorette? Michelle! Yes! So then Rachel comes out. Now there's been a lot of controversy surrounding Rachel because she went to an antebellum party in 2018. And there's a picture of her with her friends at that party. And the host really did an excellent job of asking questions. And there were a couple things that really stood out to me that I liked. One of the biggest ones was that he said there's a difference between being racially insensitive and racist. I thought that brought a lot of clarity to what can be very generalizing statements about how people define other people's behavior. He also asked what Rachel will be doing to help move herself past this. Lastly, he says he doesn't believe in cancel culture, but he does believe in accountability. And he even said he believes Rachel is doing that. Now, I don't want to talk too much about this racist thing because, truthfully, I don't want to get canceled. I got millions of fans, billions of views. This is my livelihood. But I do want to quote some more things about that conversation that I thought were pertinent. So we find out that they're not going to get back together, that it's over. He said it just hurts too much to think about. Understandably. One of the things I don't understand though is one of the hallmarks of a good relationship is helping your partner understand your life perspective. And one of the things Matt James was quoted as saying was, she doesn't understand my blackness. And as a partner, wouldn't you expect someone to articulate that and help them understand that? Because there's nothing better in a relationship than feeling understood about something that is significant and so important to you. Which is why I don't think this was the reason they broke up. I think there's a lot happening behind the scenes, and this was the easiest way out for Matt. It really comes to a head when the host says, if you guys want to have a final embrace, and Matt just sits there. And what does he say? I don't know if it'll ever not hurt hearing those things. They never hug, and then it ends. Matt again leaves it off very ambiguous. Thankfully, we didn't have to end on that very awkward goodbye, if you can even call it a goodbye. Really, we got to end off with learning that Katie and Michelle will be on the next 2 seasons of The Bachelorette. I'm very excited for this. And if my girlfriend didn't make me watch The Bachelor, I probably wouldn't be watching these shows or making these videos. I'm very excited about Katie because Abby was definitely my favorite. Katie was my second favorite. And if Katie, Abby, Michelle, Matt, if any of you guys want to come on this show, you know what, I'll reach out to you. We can do an interview, throw back a few brewskis, I don't drink, and just talk about life, you know? We shared a lot of good memories, didn't we? Shared a lot of hopeful times. Shared some sad times too. But I want to thank you guys for sticking with me through this season. And I will see you next season for The Bachelorette.